Yo, what is up, guys? I'm bringing you a brand new video, and this time we're talking about how to maximize your money per hour while grinding via drop rate bonuses. Now, if you're a player that tries to be efficient at grinding, you've probably looked at other outlets like maximizing your AP or being at an efficient grind spot based on your gear, but you really can't underestimate drop rate bonuses and how much of an effect that they can have on the amount of money you can make per hour. This video is going to summarize all of the different drop rate bonuses as well as how to obtain them, and perhaps give you a better idea as to just how easy it is to stack up a lot of drop rate and how that can actually affect your money per hour. So moving right along to our very first drop rate bonus, it is Sweet Luck. It is only 2%. For completion's sake, I had to add it to this video. It's something that has a cooldown of 5 hours and lasts for about 60 minutes. If you're in a guild, it can be popped by a GM or by an officer for 200 Pledge of the Blood, which is essentially practically nothing. And it lasts for 1 hour for 2%. It's not 100% uptime. You're not going to have it all the time, but it's worth mentioning that if you are in a guild, perhaps even just asking for somebody to activate this while you're grinding could mean, a little extra money per hour. The next one we have here is the Arctic Fox. Now, this is more of a pay-to-win option. If you're somebody that doesn't spend a lot of money on the game, then perhaps this one's not quite for you. But the Arctic Fox is a pet which can be purchased off of the Pearl Shop, and it has a specific talent, which is item drop rate plus 4%. Now, this is at tier 4. If you do have a tier 1 pet, it will be 1%. Tier 2 is 2%. 3% is from a tier 3. And that is a permanent talent. As long as you have that pet activated and it's got its talent icon highlighted, the little crosshair that's orange, that little icon you can see right there. As long as that is activated, you're getting item drop rate plus 4%. Now, moving right along onto luck. Now, this is a pretty easy stat to gain, and I encourage everybody here to have 5 out of 5 on it. If you hit your P key, it'll open up your My Character information, and it'll show the luck stat. Now, if you have all 5 of those bars filled out, you will be getting approximately 2% extra drop rate per bar for a total of 10%. Now, luck can be increased through a number of ways. If you have particular garments from the Pearl Shop, it'll give you +1. If you have a fairy, it gives you +1. If you simply buy a golden hand elixir, the blue version, I believe it gives +3 luck, as well as specific titles and just things that you do in the game will give you permanent luck chance. It's very, very cheap and easy to run 5 luck at all times, so I encourage everybody to gain luck through those methods. The way that I have 5 luck permanently is I have the garment from the Pearl Shop, which is kind of like a pair of shorts. I have my fairy activated, which can be gained through Layla's petals throughout the world as you're grinding. And then I have 3 luck given to me because I have a specific number of titles, which are gained through all kinds of different tasks in the game. Moving right along to Ecology. Now, Ecology is something that can be gained as permanent drop rate chance, and it depends on the grade of knowledge you have on specific monsters. So as you're killing monsters, you may have noticed throughout your journeys that it'll pop up saying A+ knowledge on grass beetle or S knowledge on grass beetle. What that actually means for Ecology, if you see the points per grade chart there, is the higher your knowledge, the more points you are going to get. And if you can accumulate 8,000 total points, then you would get an item drop rate plus 20% permanently across any monster you kill anywhere at all times. And if you want to see what your current Ecology is, you can hit the H key. It's rather easy to reach 6,000 Ecology. It doesn't take too long. Honestly, 7,000, 8,000 might not be for everybody. If you have lower gear, there could be some more difficult mobs and might be a little bit time consuming to get that. But at a minimum, hitting, the 5,000, 6,000 should be pretty accessible for all players. There's a lot of very squishy mobs out there. It's pretty easy to go through it. And if you're somebody that wants to grind as your main source of income, I feel that this is something worth getting a little bit higher, closer to that 5,000, 6,000 range. Now, moving on to Blessing of Comus Sylvia. Blessing of Comus Sylv is a 20% drop rate increase, and this is gained through activating an item that can be purchased from either the Pearl Shop or through the Central Market. If you're on North America, it's rather easy to buy. I would say that you could probably buy one really at any time. They're pretty plentiful, and sometimes they sit, sometimes your order will be filled within the day. And it's 110 million silver. It activates for 15 days. It'll be activated at all times, and it gives you drop rate bonus of 20%. And if you are somebody that grinds as your main source of income for, let's say, 20 hours, 30 hours a week, it is very likely to pay itself off. So it's for sure worth having on pretty much at all times. It also has some nice little bonuses like central market warehouse capacity and transaction made volume limit and stuff like that. So it's a pretty useful item for a very cheap amount of silver. Now moving on to castle buffs. So if you are in a guild that owns a region like Calphion, Media, or Valencia, it has an occupation benefit, and this is known as castle buff. And for this particular example, we have Media on the screen. If you own Media, you get a item drop rate plus 50% when defeating monsters in both Media and Drigan. You'll know that this is active because you'll have a golden crown next to your name, whereas if you're in another region and you own Media, it'll have a white crown, so you can tell whether or not that drop rate bonus is being activated. And it lasts for 1 week, or until you lose the castle. So it's essentially something that, in this example, Snake has had it for 2 weeks, which means that we've taken advantage of this drop rate for, 14 days. And it's a pretty decent buff, 50%. In a lot of cases, a lot of guilds believe that the drop rate bonus is more valuable than the actual payouts that you get in a guild. So it's a pretty nice little bonus for being in a siege guild if you're interested in PvPing. The next one is the Arsha channel. Now, if you've ever noticed on the character selection menu, there is Arsha PvP channel, and it has a little red icon. If you are on that Arsha channel, it gives you a drop rate bonus called the Eye of Arsha. And as you're defeating monsters, you get a 50% increase in items drop rate for any mob you kill while on that channel. Now, keep in mind, if you are a newer player, the Arsha channel is a PvP channel, which means that you can be PvP'd at any time, and the player will lose no karma for killing you, and you'll also lose no karma if you kill another player. So it's kind of a higher risk, higher reward PvE scenario where you're going to be expected to fight for your spot and potentially have a lot of combat coming your way as you're grinding. The last thing we have here are item collection scrolls. Now, these item collection increase scrolls, they have an item drop rate of plus 100%, as well as an item drop amount of plus 50%. Now, the item drop rate refers to rare items, while the item drop amount refers to more of like the trash loot, the items that you just sell to a vendor that have no value other than just selling to a vendor. And the item drop rate of 100% is the highest bonus of anything, and these scrolls can be obtained through several means. You can get Dark Spirit's Greeds by completing rifts and exchange 10 of them for an item collection scroll. You can get Medals of Honor for, participating in Node Wars, which can be exchanged for item scrolls. You get them through specific events in your rewards tab or your Black Spirit safe. And there's also specific things on the Pearl Shop, which will give you item collection increase scrolls in addition to whatever you're purchasing. So there's a lot of different ways. You likely have some of these just kicking around if you look in your rewards tab or your Black Spirit safe. And the buff will last for 60 minutes. You can also take it and put it in the Simple Alchemy tab and turn it into a 30-minute scroll. And it's a pretty nice item to have while you're grinding almost anywhere. And I would encourage you to save them for more later game spots, since later game spots tend to have more rare items like Tungrat accessories and things of that nature. So perhaps you consider it when you maybe get to History or Ackman. And if you have all of these drop rate bonuses, you can get 256% total, and that means that with the base chance of 100%, that is a 356% drop rate chance. And to tell you what that means, let's say that there is an item that has a 0.1% chance of dropping. This means that you are expected to kill around 1,000 monsters before you receive one of these items if you only have the base drop chance of 100%. But if you have all of these bonuses running, it means that you're only going to have to kill approximately 281 monsters before you get said drop. So that's almost a third. That's about a little over a third less, or pardon me, it's a third of the mobs before you're expected to get these rare drops, which means that you're more than 3 times as efficient as another player that is not running these scrolls. So, or running scrolls and Archbuff and Castle Buff and Comus Sylvia and all these other things. So it's very, very worth it for you to really look at the different ways of gaining percentage drop rate bonus and trying to maximize it the best you can. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today in this video. I hope that you guys all enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the next one.